What's up? Jayson Gaddis here. Welcome back to the Smart Couple Podcast. Psyched to be here with you on this Ask Me Anything episode. And man, I just finished the relationship school live weekend, graduation weekend, after 9 months of all of us getting schooled on relationships and me personally going through a tremendous transformational process, leading this thing. And man, I just had so much fun and got challenged so hard and grew a ton. So thanks to all you relationship schoolers out there and Smart Couple listeners. It feels so good to be doing what I love to do in my life. It really, really does. And this notion of relationship as a path and using relationships to grow and to become who we are is, to me, where it's at. And I appreciate the listenership and the kind of people you are, that you take this stuff seriously because you see the magic. There's some magic. There's a lot of pain. And when you start to turn that pain into an opportunity to heal and to grow and to learn about yourself, that's where the magic happens. Okay, this episode's an Ask Me Anything, so it's a little shorter, and we're going to dive right in. I believe this question is from Kristen. So let's do it. Here we go.
Hi, Jayson. My name is Kristen, and I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Just want to thank you for everything you've done with the podcast. It's had a tremendous impact on my life. But I wanted to ask you a question about healthy expressions of frustration and conflict. I'm wondering if you can speak a little bit to some examples of what that might look like. The reason why I ask is because I have a partnership with someone I really love. And sometimes in conflict, when he's extremely frustrated, he tends to pound a pillow or grunt or do some physical manifestation of his frustration. And he tends to be more of a fighter. I'm more like freeze, flight kind of person. And I have a history of physical and sexual abuse, and I've done a lot of work with it, with EMDR and stuff like that. But still, when he does that in conflict, I find it super triggering. I get really afraid. And I talked to him about that and asked him if he could refrain from doing it around me. And he was responsive, but I'm just wondering if that's healthy and something that I should adapt to and allow for, or if it is, I guess, fair or reasonable for me to not want him to do it. And if that's something that he can actually live up to. So any of your thoughts would be super helpful. Thanks.
Awesome. Kristen, thank you so much for your vulnerability and for the question. It's an important one and one I'm psyched to dive into with you. So first, let's state the obvious here that expression of anger and frustration is better than him doing that at you or on you or toward you. So if your guy is hitting pillows and growling and grunting, as long as he's not directing that at you and you're right there, that's a really good step because, some of you are in relationships where you actually might physically get hurt, and that's obviously not okay. So this is a step in the right direction, and for your sensitive nervous system, and probably most people might get a little like, whoa, what's going on there? If a male partner was, screaming or hitting a pillow or growling really loud nearby, that for most people is going to send alarm bells off in our nervous system. And that's, again, a healthy response. So we have to be where we're at, all right? Your nervous system is clearly still scared about this kind of exchange. So you have every right to say, honey, thank you for not hurting me. Thank you for learning how to express your anger. Really acknowledge him for his effort here. And could you do it in the basement or the other room? Or are you cool if I, quietly walk or run out of the house just to take good care of myself? I'm going to return, and will you please return? But, can we have an agreement that when you reach that level of frustration that you're going to express it somewhere where I either can't hear you or it's far enough away where I can still feel safe? Are you willing to do that for me and for our relationship? And if he's this kind of guy that's already not hurting you directly and he's doing it away from you, my guess is he's going to be receptive to taking it another step. Because remember, as Ellen and I talk about a lot here, we want mutuality and we want a sense of safety in your relationship. And you both need to be invested in feeling safe. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to open. Open your heart, open your body, and to connect and really relax. So, yeah, you have every right to ask. It's totally reasonable. You're not too sensitive or crazy here. You're right on the money. So speak up for yourself and ask for something that's going to help you let your nervous system let down just a little bit more, which is going to help you open up to him. It's going to help you feel safe again so that you can connect with him. And I'm guessing, if I'm him, that's going to feel really good. I might feel impatient, or I might feel initially a little like defensive. But if I really feel into it, it's like, that sounds really reasonable. You're not asking too much here. And in general, an expression of anger like this is, again, a positive step in the right direction. Someone else, Kristen, in your shoes isn't going to get triggered the way you are. They're going to be like, wow, that's attractive. Or, wow, I really feel his like manness, and he's kind of a caveman in some way. And like, he's powerful because he's expressing his frustration. He's not doing the typical male thing of shutting it down, going inward and then having a beer and turning on the game or something. He's actually really trying to relate here. So another way, so this is one way, another way that you guys can work with anger is, as my friend Douglas taught me years ago, just close your eyes when you're really triggered, okay? And remember, we talk about the trigger scale 0 to 10. Anything above a 5 is going to be a little scary and uncomfortable for us, at least on the emotional activation scale. And we're usually leaving our heart and we're going into our head because we're afraid and we're activated. One thing you can do, if you can get your wits about you, enough of your frontal cortex online, is sit down quietly with the door shut in another room and let your partner know, hey, I need some space. I need to go be with my anger, and go. And if you can do that, sometimes it doesn't have to be that skillful. Sometimes there is a door slammed, a door shut, God, and you storm off or something like that. You're going to do the best you can. What you want to work towards is, honey, I'll be right back. I got to go deal with my shit myself. And you go shut the door and you sit down on your meditation cushion, you lie in your bed, you do something, and you feel the energy of anger ripping through your body. You close your eyes, and then you take the label anger off and you stay with the energy, and you feel energy ripping through your body. And what you discover is it's just energy. And it's very uncomfortable, but it's just energy. And then you want to ask your next question, is this going to kill me? Is this energy going to kill me right now? Can I stay with it? My commitment is to try to stay with this. Just like you would if I handed you a screaming, terrified infant. You don't want to throw the infant down. You don't want to run out of the room and leave the infant alone. You want to pick up the screaming, tantruming infant and hold him or her in your arms. You're doing the same thing with you, right? So this could be another step in working with anger, right? I'm a big fan of expressing anger, but I'm also a big fan of feeling anger as a sensation running through your body, taking off the label. Because what we realize is it's not that big of a deal. And the energy of anger is really powerful. Now, one last challenge for you guys is, whenever we're angry, you got to look at the expectations, okay? Are you expecting someone to live like you, right? Just something I want to leave you with. Okay, so there's a few action steps in there. Number one, have the conversation with him. Set some context about future anger outbursts and what you need. Okay, you need something here. And number two, see if you can be with anger differently as an experiment. All right? Okay, hopefully that was helpful, Kristen and Kristen's partner, and you guys get some out of that, and listeners as well. And we'll talk very soon. Take care.